What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spud.
It's your boy Los, and welcome to Cold Blooded Reactions, y'all. Your boy's back.
This nigga's back. He's a little swollen, but he's back. He's a little swollen, but he's
I'm
back.
feeling a lot better, you know what I mean? I appreciate
yeah.
y'all, you know what I mean? Still tuning in while I was out. You know what I mean? I appreciate my homie K-Spud, you know what I mean? Holding everything down. But, you know, we back.
Damn,
We
baby.
gonna be consistent, you know what I mean? We lit.
Alright, so, yo, today we're going to be watching top 10 dark mental asylums in China. And you know, if it's in China or Japan, that's just going to be kind of fucked up.
It is always fucked up. You know what I mean? So we about to see how really fucked up and mental this shit is. You know what I mean?
Alright, let's see it, man. Let's fucking
get
get into it. Welcome back, my nigga.
It feels good to be back, bro. Trust. I miss doing this shit.
From a abandoned hospital to people being forcibly confined to a psychiatrist with some extremely questionable methods. On today's top 10 list, I'll be covering some dark mental asylums in China. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the Asylums Hospital. This hospital was built in 1972 and was designed to specialize in mental health treatments as well as physiotherapy. The designs for the building began in the 60s, and the building was created with quite a few structural issues. There were often leaky roofs that led to infection control issues within the hospital, which is exactly the opposite of what you want to happen in a hospital. They were usually understaffed, which led to the patients being given extremely high doses of oral sedatives in order to keep all the patients calm and to avoid any violent outbursts. But, of course, aside from the ethics of that practice, this would lead to substance dependence problems, which in turn led to more violent outbursts. There was a focus on security in this hospital, which could be a good thing, but it truly was taken overboard, and it ended up being more like a prison, which is extremely detrimental to those who are trying to heal. In 2012, the original Asylums building was abandoned, and the hospital moved to a new location in Castle Peak. In our number 9 spot today, we have the KANGNING Psychiatric Rehabilitation Hospital. Before I dive into this one, guys, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video so far, because it really helps us out. This hospital is located in Shanghai and has a lot...
Hit a thumbs up down below. That would really help us out, guys. Come on.
Don't hit her thumbs up, hit ours.
Long past their recovery. The most well-known case of this is the case of Su Wei. In 2001, Su Wei began to exhibit some symptoms of mental illness, and upon evaluation, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He was treated for a short while and then released back to his family. In 2003, Su got in an argument with his father.
A razor? As in like the old shit?
Yeah, they just came out with a folding phone, basically.
Why?
It's one of those foldable phones.
They're about to bring the sidekick back.
Which of course was not okay, and his father ended up taking him to the KANGNING Hospital. In 2008, Su's father passed away,
that shit
so his
look like
guardianship
the ex-house.
was passed on to his brother, and since that year, Su has expressed his wishes to be released from the hospital, but his brother will not sign the discharge papers, so Su was kept in the facility for years against his will. He was even declared rehabilitated, but they still would not let him leave, which I can only imagine took an enormous toll on his mental health that he had been working so hard on. In 2013, Su finally got the assistance he needed from a lawyer and sued both his brother and the hospital, but after a year of delays, his case was rejected. Finally, after 3 more years of appeals, Su was finally declared to have full civil capacity and was finally released. It is so sad that Su was held for years against his will, all because of a mental illness that he took the steps to get under control, but I am so...
Yo, once I got out of that place, me and my brothers were gonna have some real beef.
Nah, on God, yo, I wasn't beefing, bro. That's fucked up.
Beef.
Like, how's your own brother gonna do that shit to you? You know what I mean? Yeah, most likely.
Was able to recover and finally be released. In our number 8 spot today, we have the HAIDIAN District Mental Health Prevention and Treatment Hospital. This hospital is in the HAIDIAN district, which is mostly in northwestern Beijing. Not a lot has come out about this treatment facility in terms of what goes on a day-to-day basis, but there is a huge and important question that has to do with this facility. In 2012, China passed its first mental health law that aimed to prevent people from being involuntarily held at psychiatric facilities. Unfortunately, though, this law still allows people to be sent in by their families and doesn't necessarily give them the ability to leave on their own free will, which seems like a huge oversight. In
So what was the
2013,
point?
it was said that there were 300 in-house patients at the hospital. Out of the 300, apparently 150 of them met the medical requirements for discharge, but they weren't allowed to go home. It isn't exactly clear why, but it certainly is something to be looked into, considering that is half of the people there. In our number 7 spot today, we have
Damn,
the
that's
third
crazy.
hospital of ZHUZHOU. The third hospital of ZHUZHOU is of course located in ZHUZHOU, which is in the Hunan province of China. I hope I said that right. This hospital tends to keep its inner workings secret, but there is one story that came out that definitely shocked a lot of people. In July of 2018, a woman named Dong Yao-chan live streamed a video of her throwing...
Wait, what? Live streaming what?
The names are getting me right now. Yo,
That's mad racist, bro.
nigga, it's not, bro.
That is racist,
Yo,
bro.
it's not racist.
That is racist,
It's
bro.
not.
onto a
Come
billboard
on.
that
We
depicted
better
the
than that.
Chinese
I don't
leader,
think it's possible to
Xi
be racist to a
Jinping.
Chinese
In the
person.
video,
They're
she
great
also
people.
accused the Chinese Communist Party authorities of thought control. Shortly after this video was streamed, Dong made a tweet that said that there were a bunch of
We are not putting this up. We are not putting this up. Nah, bro, we not putting this one
Is
up.
my image just getting
home,
fucked up
and
at
the
yours?
account went totally silent. A year later, Dong's father finally gave an update and explained that his daughter had been taken into the third hospital of ZHUZHOU's women's ward after the live stream, and she was just now being released. He expressed his concern over her heavy medication, and he described her after the release as lacking vitality. I, of course, am not a doctor, but Dong was being given antipsychotic drugs that are used to treat schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, despite not being diagnosed with either,
Wow.
which just doesn't quite seem right. It is certainly worrisome that she was taken and treated and medicated at the hospital for an entire year, despite not being admitted either voluntarily or even by family. In our number 6 spot today,
Yo,
we
can I just say, she is very brave to be that close to the camera, bro. I can see up her nostril, everything. Yo.
Hey, man. That's that.
Damn.
That's that good angle. That's a
That's
angle, bro.
Right there, bro. Jesus.
Are we even reacting to this shit, bro?
Yes.
Chaoyang District Mental Health Service Center. The Chaoyang District Mental Health Service Center is certainly one of the better ones on today's list, which may be in part due to the fact that it is privately owned. The center is located on the outskirts of Beijing, and it provides services as well as housing for those who are meant.
Anything privately owned is an automatic bad thing. Because the motherfuckers could do whatever they want
Whatever
to
they want.
do. Whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Ill. The center originally opened in 1999 and has been growing and increasing its numbers of residents since then. 2/3 of the people at this facility only reside here because their families have either become overwhelmed with their care or they simply have just given up on
What
them,
kind of restraints are
which is
those?
very sad. Because of the fact
See what
that
I'm
the
saying?
center
They be
is
doing some
private,
shit,
it
man.
also lacks a lot of funding, so it does not
We've got a brand new iPhone 12 in a mouse case.
Fuck yeah.
This is a lie. This is a lie. It's a lie. It's fake.
One.
Bullshit.
include a lot of necessary and beneficial
Bullshit.
services such as counseling. The center mainly acts as housing, which is of course very important, and they are able to give out medication. With more funding, they would certainly be able to provide more care and services to the residents, as well as be able to expand their capacity. In our number 5 spot today, we have the FUZHOU Psychiatric Sanatorium. The FUZHOU Psychiatric Sanatorium has a very similar issue to the HAIDIAN District Mental Health Prevention and Treatment Hospital that we talked about before. With the China mental health law overlooking the fact that patients should be allowed to leave on their own free will, it is extremely difficult to be discharged from this hospital without a family member consenting to it. At least half of the patients in this sanatorium have been able to recover and meet the requirements needed in order to be sent home, but their family or those who have, for some reason, been deemed necessary to look after the patients after their discharge are not willing to authorize these patients' release from the hospital.
I just feel like they'd be like, I feel like they just be like, yo, you're going to the mental asylum, they just cast you away.
You see, the issue I'm seeing with that, like, all right, here I can understand because we know there's people in the world that need to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
And they try to fake it to get out, and then the family allows them to get out, and there's a big issue when they get out. But in certain situations, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and it's like, especially if they're showing that they're fit for society again, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, why are they keeping them against their will? At this point, I just feel like they're just throwing them away. Like, they're just throwing their kids away. Like, yeah, you're a lost cause.
I mean, a lot of people, especially in China. I'm sorry, not
No,
racist.
I know what you mean.
This
In
is
China,
not racist.
In China, like, they're very, like, they're very strict about mad shit over there. Like that,
Yeah.
it's a communist country.
Are they still doing that stuff with the sending the girls away to other countries?
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah, because of their population, it was so huge in
Yeah,
China.
I knew that.
If a family had more than one girl, they had to get rid of the other girls. And
Yeah, I heard it's only like it's like a 4 family. You have to have 1 boy, 1 girl. That's it. And if you have like 2 girls, then I don't know if they're still doing that.
They give it up for adoption.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still doing
Yeah,
that.
they put it down. That's the sad part. It's like they put them down like animals, bro.
That's fucked up.
I don't know if that's what they were doing back then, from what I heard. I don't even know if it's facts.
If they're still doing that shit right now, that's fucked up.
The population is crazy over there, though.
The necessary requirements, it seems pretty unfair that the fate of their life would be left up to someone else, especially since
Shit, there's
there's
1 billion
seemingly
people
no
over there. Hell
reason
yeah, it's
for them
crazy
to
out there,
continue
bro.
Living in a mental health facility. I can't imagine how being held captive would affect your mental health, especially when it's something you've already struggled with. In our number 4 spot today, we have the WENZHOU of KANGNING Hospital. The WENZHOU of KANGNING Hospital seems to not necessarily be a hospital that is actively doing some questionable things, as far as I know, but because of the way mental health and mental illness are sometimes viewed in China, it is facing a bit of a dark issue. The director of the hospital has explained that over half of the patient's relatives are reluctant to take them home once treatment has been completed. This is a huge problem because these people will just be forced to stay in the care that they no longer need, and they're lacking the option to have autonomy over their own choices. I honestly am unsure if the hospital has to release patients to family members, or if it has just been so customary to do so that there's a fear of letting patients leave on their own accord. Whichever it is, it certainly seems like it might be time for something to change. In our number 3 spot today, we have the High Street Community Center. The High Street Community Center is located in Hong Kong and was home to some extremely gruesome acts and is said to be very haunted. The building was created in 1892 and was originally used as the quarters for the European nursing staff at a civil hospital, but once World War II rolled around, this was the site where a lot of rebellious locals were tortured and executed by soldiers. After the war, this building became a mental hospital and was the only one of its kind at the time. In 1961, the hospital turned into a day treatment center for psychiatric outpatients until 1971. For the next 20 years, the building was abandoned, but that, of course, didn't stop trespassers, which led to all of the ghost stories being spread. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, just knowing the horrors that the building had seen would be enough to give you an eerie feeling. But for those who do believe, it is said that a woman can be heard crying, you can hear mysterious footsteps in the distance, but some people say that they've actually seen a headless ghost, and others say that they've witnessed a ghost burst into flames. All in all, I think this might be one building.
Hell no!
In number 2 spot, we have the 4th Hospital of LINYI. The 4th Hospital of LINYI is a mental hospital located in LINYI, which is in the Shandong province of China.
Yo, she's getting good at pronouncing these fucking names, nigga.
She got it.
She must have practiced this shit like 10 times.
20 times, yo.
There is
Respect.
one major problem going on at this hospital, and that has to do with the hospital's deputy chief, Yang Yongshin. Yang is a clinical psychiatrist.
He look like a crazy ass.
Active of electroconvulsive therapy without the use of any anesthesia or muscle relaxants. He claims his practices can help.
Yeah, nah, that dude's top.
You
could tell he just gets off by doing this shit.
Working at the hospital here in where we live.
Yeah.
They still perform those shock therapies, shit. They do make them go to sleep before they do it though, but I don't ever think that that's necessary, nigga. I really don't.
Why are you gonna put somebody to sleep for shock therapy? Ain't they gonna just wake them up?
No.
I don't know. That's crazy. Cause it's like it's shock therapy. You're gonna get shot. I would wake the fuck.
They put some shit on your head and then they just like put.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Nah, I don't know. God, please, no, please.
And he
just
unfortunately runs
horrible.
the Internet Addiction Treatment Center at the hospital. Yang's treatments would cost families around $800 a month and would combine this electroconvulsive therapy with psychiatric medication, which was eventually dubbed the brain-waking treatment. Eventually, the Chinese Ministry of Health banned this treatment, which seems like the right thing to do, but now the doctor uses a new treatment that he came up with called low-frequency pulse therapy that his patients have said is much more painful than his previous treatment. Yang continues to be an extremely controversial psychiatrist, with people dubbing him as the devil still at large. One random but interesting fact I found
That motherfucker gotta
This
die.
entrepreneur brand logo was done by a top freelancer on Fiverr. Is simply wow.
Yo, Fiverr is dope.
For this video,
Shout out
you are a
Fiverr.
fan of the game Dead by Daylight. You might know the Doctor character, and apparently this
Dead by
character,
Daylight?
whose power is shocking the survivors, which alters their minds, is actually modeled after Yang. I'm not
That's
100%
crazy.
sure if that is true, but I read about it, and I just had to include it in this video because I wanted you guys to know
I
that.
kind of want
fact.
to look into that now.
Well,
That
it's
dude.
maybe not a fact. In our number 1 spot today, we have the Beijing ANKANG Hospital. The Beijing ANKANG Hospital is, of course, located in Beijing in the Fangshan district, but it is truly more of a prison hospital than just a hospital. The word ANKANG means peace and health, more specifically for the mentally ill, and while not all ANKANG hospitals are like prisons, unfortunately this one kind of is. The Beijing ANKANG is under the control of the Public Security Bureau, and a man named Wang Wangxing has spoken out about his treatment there. Wang is a political activist who was arrested on June 4th, 1992, for unfurling a banner in Tiananmen Square on the 3rd anniversaries of the protests that happened there. After his arrest, he was quickly sent to the psychiatric hospital and suddenly diagnosed with political monomania. He spent
Political
13 years
monomania?
trapped
What?
in this facility,
I've
and
never
after
heard of
his
that shit.
release, he details
Doesn't
being
exist.
forced to take the
Sound like some made-up
psychoactive
shit.
drug chlorpromazine 3 times a day. He discussed having to share cells with mentally ill patients that had extensive violent records and who really frightened him, as well as the severe understaffing of the hospital, leaving 2 nurses in charge of 70 patients.
What
There
is
are
this,
reports
bro?
of
What are they gonna
patients
do?
at the hospital
What the
passing
fuck is
away
this
from
shit?
I don't know, it was about to
abuse
give me a
during
damn
their
seizure,
time
though.
there, from both nurses as well as other violent patients. Wang actually witnessed 2 deaths, one from a heart attack brought on by an electric acupuncture treatment, and the other was on a hunger strike and passed away while being force-fed by other inmates. Safe to say this place was absolutely terrifying to be held captive. In 1999, Wang was actually discharged on the condition that he didn't have any contact with the media. He asked if he would be allowed to have a press conference to discuss his confinement, and shortly after asking, he was removed from his home by 8 public service officers and forcibly placed back into the hospital. In 2005, he was finally released and unexpectedly deported to Germany. Upon examination by 2 separate doctors in 2006, neither doctor found any symptoms that he was suffering from any mental illness that would justify his forceful admission to the hospital. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been your host, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you next.
Yo, man, y'all motherfuckers crazy out there. in China.
Yo,
I'm just telling you that right now.
listen.
You motherfuckers like not and I'm like and it, yo, you know what's yo, no pun intended either, yo. But y'all motherfuckers crazy in the sense of like, why the fuck are y'all putting perfectly sane people
In basic prison.
in prison? Like y'all are making them insane. Y'all insane for making them insane, fam. Like
Yo, one thing I had to say, I've worked in an asylum before, and it's a very creepy environment to work in, but these environments sound 10 times worse.
yo, China, y'all gotta change some shit up, bro.
Oh, man. But, all right, guys. Wait, Los, you haven't done this in a while.
You're right.
Los, hit him with the outro.
Y'all, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that we drop. If you got any videos you want us to react to, comment down below. If you got any personal videos that you want us to react to, any music and shit, let us know. Make sure y'all subscribe, though. You know what I mean? It's K-Spud, Los, deuces.